Mr. Smith's Bakery in Vermillion, South Dakota is known for its variety of homemade baked goods, but there's a twist. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Carly Phillips takes us to the cafe that's hidden inside of a hardware store.
Freshly baked bread, sandwiches of every kind, even homemade cakes.
It's almost like a wild berry kind of feel.
That's just a few things you'll find on the menu at Mr. Smith's Bakery. But to place an order, you'll first need to enter through the doors of the Ace hardware store in town.
A lot of people don't expect that. They come in and they're just like, there's a sandwich shop in here.
It all started when Larry Smith moved to town in the early 2000s, shortly after he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Everyone knew him for his recipes, and he was offered a bread baking job at a local sandwich shop, later named Mr. Smith's in his honor. His local customers weren't the only ones blown away by his talent.
Larry used to be a police officer in Connecticut, and once he retired from the police force, he started tinkering with baking breads, and he worked part-time at a bakery in Connecticut, which is evidently how he and Oprah crossed paths, and that's how he ended up having the Oprah's Best Bread in America.
For 20 years now, those recipes have brought in customers from across town and the country. Many say the bread is the heart of what makes Mr. Smith's so special.
We have a group of retired farmers and those guys that are here right at 7 when we open up in the morning. They're generally kind of banging the door down by 6:55. You'd think we were lined for a concert or something.
Being located inside of another store hasn't slowed business down. In fact, staff say it's grown it.
We actually have a lot of construction crews that come through now because they were here earlier in the morning picking up something they needed for a job, looked over, smelled the food, saw us, and were like, oh, I guess we'll just come back for lunch.
Managers Cole and Aaron Larson and cook Carl Smith all worked with Larry for some time.
Try to keep him in line and keep him on task because he liked to dance and talk, and we would dance in the bakery and stuff.
Even when Larry's Parkinson's started to affect him physically, his friends were there to help him continue his passion.
We had safety bars and trying to just keep him up.
Larry passed away a few years ago from Parkinson's disease, but his lifelong legacy of devotion continues. The holes from the safety rails to hold him up, still drilled into the counter, and his hat still hanging in the bakery.
He's looking down on us.
Had a lot of good conversations with him, you know. He was a great guy to work with. I mean, just like everybody else has said, you know, he's kind of the one that really got this place going.
We were fortunate enough to get all of his recipes written down before, because he was a scratch baker that did everything by eye and feel.
A story behind each recipe, a passion behind each batch, and a community inside of a small town hardware store.
It's a one-stop shop. If you need a hammer, you can get that. If you need a baguette, we can get that too.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Carly Phillips.
And Mr. Smith celebrates its 20th anniversary next month, and customers can look forward to specials and new menu items.